Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie, looking into the life of Asperger's syndrome. As you're fully aware, at the moment I'm currently doing an alcohol and drug series of the living life free sort of thing, of the drug free series. If you have been following, thanks for watching. And as you're fully aware, in the last series in the piece I was talking about basically the 7 ways before you know you are actually in that relapse stage, and obviously some of the excuses or some of the quotes that you may have heard that people say before they get into that relapse and they don't realise that they're becoming addicted or whatever the case may be, which is a sad reality though, as I said before, that most of us teens, when we are facing crises or just everyday pressures, that we tend to turn for the nearest thing, be it alcohol, be it whatever it may be. And that's, you know, we just tend to think that's always the answer when we know damn well there's always other answers. So this is part 19, I think I'm up to, of the series basically, or the parts of the series basically. And this one's basically going to be called the 4 relapse triggers and how to avoid them. So here goes. The chance of relapse does exist and always exist, however, unless the chemically dependent person who is continuing to use or to work on how or she copes in their lives is dependent on how far they've gone in that use, be it whatever they said that they, for that reason or excuse, I want to try it, or they just want to do it because they think it's not going to hurt anybody, or whatever the case may be. When dealing with such powerful drugs, however, or this powerful disease of addiction, it is wise to know what those in the field of chemical dependencies call them as triggers, you know, what triggers us off, because as we know, that's everything in the brain, obviously, of the neurons and everything else, as well as those neurotransmitters that sends chemical messages to our brain, ends up being blocked because of some form of way of maybe a hemorrhage or what have you, and then it just leads to the point that we have serious blackouts, we get clumsy, we get forgetful, and the like. Triggers are labelled as, however, are those feelings and emotions, situations, people, places and things that triggers or will bring on a craving, a desire, or decision to use drugs and alcohol again. This can trigger a response in you, completely forgetting all the tough times you're using brought on you, instead of growing nostalgically for those times again. If you give in to those cravings, however, that you face the heartbreak of relapse, of using again. As I said before, basically, if you haven't followed my series, I did a brief short one of what a relapse is, basically the cycles of it, you know, and what to look out for and the importance of that. And basically this one's just a bit more of an in-depth one that I want to address to you all, basically, and that hopefully this will come in later on. Triggers can be caused by things going on inside of you, feelings and emotions, or by the stimuli in the outside world or the environment that we live in. Certain people, places, and things. What sparks an urgent craving to use, however, in one person might well create absolute wonders to use in someone else. Regardless of the triggers, however, the important thing is to know how you can respond in a positive way, proactive way, once this craving has kicked in or sparked. In other words, how to cope without giving in to the craving of desires. So number 1, the trigger, connecting certain scents, sights or sounds with using. The solution: don't romanticize or glamorize your using and drinking. When this sort of trigger hits, recall all the prices you've paid and how hard you worked on to get where you are today, regardless of that you wanting to break that habit and addiction or cycle of use of these drugs that you've been doing, you know. Play the tape all the way through. This expression is considered a tool to remind us all what can happen if you are even this once using again. Remember, for the recovering addict, there's no such thing as one drink or the next high. Be honest with yourself. Remember all the trouble and pain that your addiction can cause, has caused, and will cause if you did choose to relapse all over again. Number 2, trigger. Experiencing painful feelings. These triggers have to do with the inner senses, feelings and emotions. Feeling sad, upset, angry, you name it, they're there. to the point. The solution to this, however, is knowing these feelings that trigger a desire or craving to use the drugs or alcohol can help you be prepared to deal with them. First, you need to know that emotions, even unpleasant ones, are normal part of life. And experiencing them, feeling them can be a good thing, on that they can serve as a siren or an alert for us. Pretty much, you know, telling you it's time for you to take care of yourself. You might want to consider learning these skills effectively to cope. Number 3, trigger. Hanging out to the places or people who do use. This is the most common one, however, that we put ourselves in places where people or the environment is in with those people that are using or having the alcohol, and basically it can be a risky business because it leads to that temptation and us falling in the trap of basically relapsing to the point that we don't know about it. The solution here is, even though many people might find these hard, avoid places where people are using and having alcohol if you really want to stay sober and want to come clean and basically want to live a fresh life and whatnot. Even if you feel that your friends is going to mock you for it, you know, oh, you're just a loser, you're missing out, all the good things while you're using this. But you know in reality that they're the losers, obviously, because they made that choice basically to use again and again to that point. If you're trying to stay sober and clean, however, don't hang out with those who use. You might have to lose friends along the way in your recovery stage of this relapse. Or even just to the point of the places that you're hanged out with those people that did use, you know. It's a hard fact in reality, but we need to realise that this time and age, some people aren't worth our time when it comes down to using and abusing. Sometimes we need to say goodbye to the old friends, as well as maybe goodbye to the habit of our addiction or us being chemically independent on those drugs that we want to do if we want to clean straight. There will be times when you have to say goodbye to basically the past and even to get on with your life though. 4th trigger is conflicts with people you can't avoid. Sometimes there will be people, family members, friends, work colleagues, the like, you can't avoid. Maybe then when you're trigger or craving or desire to use or drink, maybe you don't use, but nonetheless it's the feeling and emotions again that has triggered them off in one way or another. Solution to this is be open to learning some new skills and experiences, such as how to communicate in open, honest ways, assertive ways. This is really important. And another one basically I find is with this is, you know, if you can't talk to that person, you know, in a positive way, maybe just sit down by yourself and actually practice it yourself and find a way that will come out in a positive way that won't actually affect you or that person. You can't avoid some people, some places, and some situations, but you can learn to set boundaries for yourself and what you will and won't do. As you continue to work on yourself to your recovery, you will learn and grow as a person as you become strong enough in your recovery and how you feel about yourself. Arguments and conflicts with others won't have so much power over you in the end. Well, that basically ends part 19 of the triggers of your relapse. Pretty much give me the likes for the support and thumbs up if you're liking the channel. Also just support me by giving me comments below, or even just comments in general. Like I said, I want to create a chain pretty much throughout these series for people that may come on my channel to use these as learning aid, resource tools, or whatever that may be, and they can see messages of hope that they're not alone, and basically we need to come together and support each other and break that chain of cycle of addiction one way or another if we're positive in that and have the right attitude and thinking up here, obviously. So basically subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Also follow me on Twitter and Facebook on AspieAnswersAll. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all soon.